Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Esther Para, and if this is the first time you are joining us on this channel, we say welcome to the family. And if you're an old subscriber, wow, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thanks for coming back. So in today's video, we are going to be learning how to cut and sew this beautiful bubu on the screen right now. And the highlight of this tutorial is going to be the welt pocket. You see the welt pocket. I'm going to teach you how to sew a perfect welt pocket. So if this sounds like what you would love to learn, then watch till the end. So on my table right here, I've folded my fabric into 4 because we are going to be cutting both front and back together, because the front and back, there's really no much difference. The difference is just the neckline. So you see it. First I folded it into 2. I first folded it into 2, then I folded it again into 4. You can see it. So that's what we have here. So the first thing I'm going to do is to draw my starting line. So that's my starting point line. So the next thing I want to draw is my shoulder measurement. The shoulder measurement is 16. Half of my shoulder measurement is 8. 16 divided by 2 is 8. So I'm going to mark it like so. Then I'm going to mark the sleeve length, because the sleeve and the dress is going to be together. It's a cut together. So I'm going to mark my sleeve length now. So my sleeve length is going to be 13 inches. So I'm going to mark 13 inches here. So that's where my sleeve length is going to get to. So the next thing I want to draw is to mark my neckline. So my neckline, the width of this neckline I'm going to use is going to be 3.5. I'm going to use 3.5. Then the depth of the front. The depth of the front, I'm going to use 3.5. You know, it's still going to have a slit at the front, so I'll use 3.5 by 3.5. Then I'll curve it. Then I'll mark for the back. The back is going to be 3.5 width, then 1 inch for the depth. So I'm going to mark 1 inch for the depth like so. Then I'll connect it. Okay, so the next thing I want to do is to mark my shoulder slant. So I'm going to mark my shoulder slant on the end of the sleeve here. I'm going to go down by 1.5. Then I'll connect it to the neck width. Okay, so the next thing I want to do is to mark the opening of the sleeve, because there's going to be elastic. If you look at the style, there's elastic on the sleeve. So I'm going to just take 11 inches. I'm going to use 11 inches, or I can also use 12. Let's use 12 inches. We're still going to use elastic to gather it back to our sleeve length. So 12 inches is fine. So from that 12 inches, what I'm going to do, I'm going to come in from that 12 inches. First, let's mark this width that we mark here. Let's mark it straight down. So everything plus the shoulder and to the sleeve, everything, I have 21 inches. So I'm going to mark 21 inches everywhere, then turn it into a straight line. So the next thing I want to do is on this sleeve opening, I'm going to come in by 3 inches. And I'll draw a straight line. Then I'll connect this one. This place I came in by 3 inches. I'll connect it, then I'll draw it into a straight line. So let me get what I have here. So I have 18 inches here. So I'm going to mark 18 inches straight down. Okay. So after doing this, the next thing I want to do, I don't want this place to have this sharp point. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to give here a curve. You see it? So that it doesn't have that sharp point. So I'll just curve here. So that's pretty much what we are going to do. So the next thing I'll do now is to add allowances. I'll add allowances. You know, the neckline still has a slash here. I'm still going to slash the front neckline, but let me add allowances so that we can remove the back. When we remove the back, then we'll now deal with the front. So let me add allowances to the back first. I'm adding 1/2 inch to the neckline. Then I'm going to add allowance at the shoulder slope. So I want to connect the shoulder slope. Okay, so now let's cut out. Then I will remove the back. Where I'm cutting for the back. I've not added allowance for the front, or let me just add the allowance for the front. So let me cut the back neckline. I'm going to remove one of it, which is the back, then so that we can shape the front. So this is the front now. So let's cut the front. The front is still having an opening here. So all together, what I want to add to this opening, I'm going to add like 3 inches. 3 inches to the opening. So after I finish cutting, let's cut this one first. When I cut this, then I'm just going to slit it open. I'll just slit the center front up to this point that I marked. So you see it. So you see it. This is how the front is going to be. See it. So everything for the front neckline is going to be 7 inches. You see it. 7 inches. So we can make it. Let me just add 1/2 inch to this slit. Okay, so that's fine for me. So let's cut the design at the front. Okay guys, so I brought this lace fabric. This is what I'm going to be using for that design in the front. So I'm going to put it on fold like so, depending on how wide you want it to be. So I'll put it on fold, then I'll place my front. This is my front. I'll place it, making sure that this place that is on fold is aligning with my dress that is on fold too. So I'll align them together like this. Then I'll trace out the neckline. I'll trace out exactly the neckline, then I'll trace exactly where I want it to end at the shoulder area. You see it? So I don't want it to get to the end of the shoulder. You know our shoulder is 15. Our shoulder is 16. We divided it into 2. We got 8. So this is where my shoulder stopped. So I don't want it to get here. So somewhere here will be fine for me. I'm going to mark it. So I'm going to cut exactly this neckline. Then I'll cut here, then stop. Then we can make any design that we want. So let me trace the neckline out. Okay. Let me add some allowance. Okay, so it's fine like that. Then I'll slash it open just the way where this one stopped too. I'll slash it open exactly where this one stopped. Okay, this is where this one stopped too. So the next thing I'll do, I'll remove the Ankara. Then I'll make the design that is on it. So I want it to be like this. This is where the slash stops. So after the slash, I want it to reach up to somewhere. After the slash, I want the length of this design to be about 7 inches. So I'm going to stop here, 7 inches. And I'm going to draw a straight line. Okay, so I'm going to connect this part like this. Okay, then I'm going to, this part is having it like a sweetheart neckline, so I'm going to connect it like this. You see it? So you see it, so this is what I'm going to have. I'm going to cut it out now. I've already added my seam allowance, so let's cut out. Okay, so I'll go to my pressing table. What I will do, so this is what we have. So what I'll do, I'll go to my pressing table and press ½ inch in like this, ½ inch in. On this part too, I'm going to press ½ inch in, ½ inch in. On this part too, I'll press ½ inch in. You see it, ½ inch in, ½ inch in. I'll press it so that when we want to sew it, it will be easy for us. So you see it. So I'll go and press it. When I press it, then we'll place it on the fabric. Then we'll sew. This is what it looks like. You see, I pressed in ½ inch. I pressed ½ inch here too. So this is what it looks like. So what I will do is, I'll bring my front pattern, my front dress. I'll bring the wrong side. We're going to place it on the wrong side because we're going to sew the neck, then take it to the right side. So this is the wrong side. I'll get the midpoint. I've pressed it so that I can get a crease line. This is my crease line. So what I'll do, I'll align it. You see? I'll align it like this. This is the right side of my lace and this is the wrong side of my Ankara. So what I'll do is I'll place them like so. Then I'll sew only this part. I'll sew the neckline. Okay, I'll sew the neckline. I'll sew here and I'll sew here. I'll make sure that they are aligning. I'll make sure they are aligning. And I'll make sure this tip is aligning to this part. All I want to sew is to sew this neckline. I'll sew this neckline, then go straight, then come back again, sew like this. That's all I'm sewing, the neckline. Then we'll come back, then turn it to the front. After sewing it, I already notched it inside. So bringing it to the right side, this is what I have. So what I'll do is I'll press it. After pressing it, I'll stitch. Don't forget, I've already folded ½ inch here. So this part here is very neat. All this part here, they are very neat. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to top stitch. I'm just going to top stitch like this. I'll follow this my line and top stitch on it after pressing it. So that will be done. Then we'll go straight to the welt pocket. This is what we have so far. I've stitched it down. You can see how neat it is. So we are going straight to the pocket now. We are going straight to the welt pocket. So let me raise it up a bit. So what I did is, you decide where you want to start your pocket. Pocket usually starts around 18 inches. So I got 18 inches. So you see, this is 18 inches. So my pocket is going to start from here and it's going to stop. I want the length of my pocket to be 7 inches. You can see, and I want it to be slant. I want the welt pocket to be slant. It's not the normal pocket that will just be straight like this. I want it to be slant, so I want it to come like this. So from the center front, this is my center front. From the center front at that 18 inches, I marked 7 inches. You see it, I marked 7 inches. Then downward from the center front, I marked 5 inches. So from the center front here, I marked 7 inches. Then from the center front here, I marked 5 inches. And the length of my pocket is 7 inches. You see it? So I did the same thing here too. From here to here is 7, from here to here is 5 inches, and I drew a line. You can see the line. This is the line I drew. So now what you do next is to mark half inches upward, half inch up and down, half inch up on this line that you want to put your pocket. Mark half inch up, half inch down, half inch up, half inch down, then turn it into a straight line. So you see it. So we have 3 lines here. So what I'm going to do, you mark, you see this part like this, you mark half inch in again. Just follow what I'm doing. Okay, I hope you can see clearer now. So I'll mark half inch inward, just like this. You see it? I'll mark half inch inward, then I'll just mark a diagonal line like this. I don't know if you can see what I'm doing. On this half inch, I mark a diagonal line. On this part too. On this part too, I'm going to go in by half inch. And I'm going to mark a diagonal line too. Like so. And like so. You see it? See the line I marked. This is the end of my pocket. This is 7 inch. This is starting of my pocket, 7 inches. So I went down by half inch and I marked a diagonal line. So now I'm going to cut through this middle, through the midline. I'm going to cut it. When I get to this half, I'm going to notch to this corner like this. I'll notch like this, notch like this. And this part too, I'm going to open up. When I get to this half inch, I'm going to notch to this corner. I hope you understand. So let's do that. I'm going to use a blade first, just to get it starting. Okay, then I can use my scissors to finish it up. When you get to that half inch, just notch to the corner, notch to this other corner too. Then we'll continue on this part too. You see, when I get to this half inch, I will take it to the corner, and I'll take it to the other corner too. Okay, so this is what we have. You can see this opening. So I'll do the same. Anything I do here, just know that I'll do it on this other side. I'm just going to use this one to do the illustration. So what I'm going to do, I cut a piece of fabric. These are the piece of fabric that I cut. So this one is going to be for the pocket. This one is going to be for the welt. So the measurement I have is, I want my pocket to be 7 inches. So this one is going to be, the width is going to be 8 inches. So you see it is 8 inches and the length is, when you open it, the length is 3.5 inches. So we're going to fold it like this. Unfold is going to be 1.75. You see it? That is the width of my pocket. So I cut 2 pieces for it. This is the welt pocket. I cut 2 pieces for it, one for each side. Then this is the pocket itself, the pocket that will be inside. So I have 4 pieces here. 2 pieces I have 8 by 7 inches, because the length of our pocket is 7. So our pocket is going to be 8 inches and the depth of the pocket is 7 inches. You can make it as deep as you want, but make sure that the width will be 1 inch longer than what you have here. It must be 1 inch longer than what you have here. So then the next pocket, what I have is 8 by 8. So the same 8 inches, but the depth now is 8 inches. The depth is going to be 1 inch longer than the previous one. I hope you understand. So let's start now. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to bring this my pocket. You place it on this line. See it? You place it like this. You know, we cut through the middle, so you place it on this line, and you know this one is 1 inch longer than this line here. This line is 7 and this welt pocket is 8, so make sure it's aligned in the middle, so that whatever so that the half inch that is left here will be the same half inch that is left here, so that it can be in the middle. So you go to your sewing machine, then you pick up this. You know, we slanted this place, so from this corner that we slanted to the other corner, we are going to sew. You're just going to sew it like this, from this corner that we slanted here down here to this place. So I'm going to sew with half inch. So I'll go to my sewing machine and I'll hold it like this. You see it? Then I'll sew, making sure that the half inch that is left here is the same half inch that is left on this other side. So let me go and sew it. Okay guys, so I've gone ahead to sew it. You see, I've sewn it with half inch. So what I'll do next is just to take it in, just turn it in. It will be very easy to turn in because of that notches that we made. So just take it in like this. You see it? It's going to lay very smooth because of that notch that we have made. You see it? So this is how it's going to be. So what we are going to do, we are going to take it to the back. I'm going to flip it to the back now. You see it? So on the back, this is what we have. So what you need to do is to bring the shorter one, the smaller one, the 8x7. This is the 8x7 pocket. So you take the right side like this. You place it over the welt pockets like this. You see it? Then you go to your sewing machine and sew it like this. You see it? So I'm just going to go to my sewing machine and sew it. This former line will guide me in sewing it. So I'm just going to follow this my former line here, and I'll sew it down. So I've gone ahead to sew it, so I'll put it down like this. Then I'll bring the bigger pocket, which is the 8x8 pocket. So what I'm going to do, you see this other part that we notch, this part, just remove the welt pocket, bring this other part, then bring the pocket. This is the pocket, then place it like this. You see it? I hope you can see what I'm doing. Let me show you clearly. So you see, I'm going to bring my other pocket. This is it, right side facing the right side of the former pocket that we just sewed. So I'm just going to cover it up like this. I'll remove the welt. Don't sew the welt, just remove it. Then bring this one, this second part that we notch the corner. You know, we have used this first part to sew this welt. So this second opening, the second part, so I'll bring this pocket and I'll sew it like this. So I'll go to my sewing machine. I'll make sure that it's in the middle and I'll sew it. I've sewn it. So this is how the pocket, this is the pocket opening now. So let's take it to the front and finish up this pocket. So this is what it's looking like at the front. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take in this triangular part that we notch. You see this part that we notch? See it here? This arc that we notch here, I'm going to just flip it in. I'll take it in. So then I'll take it to the back again. Then I'll pick up that part. Look at it here. Look at it, this triangle part. I'll pick it up. Then I'll pick up the welt pocket. You see what I'm doing? Pick up the welt pocket. Pick up this one. This first pocket. This one. Pick the welt pocket. Then pick that triangle line. That angle line. Pick it up. Then you sew it. So I'll go to my sewing machine now and I'll sew here. Make sure you are holding this triangular line. Make sure you are holding it. If you don't hold it, the pocket will not be firm. That means you have not done anything. So as you are sewing it, you're going to sew. You are sewing everything together now. You are sewing this pocket. You are sewing the welt pocket. You are sewing this triangular line. Then you hold these two pockets together too. You see it? This pocket. Then you sew it round. You see it? Even here, when you get here too, you bring out that angle line. You bring out the welt pocket. You bring out the angle line. Then you sew everything. You see? And we are done. The pocket is done. By the time you sew this part, let me quickly sew it and show you. After stitching those places I asked you to stitch, this is the final outcome of the welt pocket. You can see how beautiful it's looking. You can see how flat it's laying. So this is your pocket. You see it. So I'm going to do exactly the same thing on this part too for the second welt pocket. Let me go ahead and do it. So I'm done fixing the wedge pocket. So this is it. So let's keep the front aside for now and let's move to the back. So this is the back. This time around I'm going to put a facing, but the facing is going to be inside, not outside. So I'm going to place my facing on the neckline like this. I'll place my facing here. I'll sew the neckline with 1/2 inch that I left, then I'll notch it, then I'll take it to the back. I'll serge here, then I'll press it down. So that will be for the back neck. So I've sewn the facing and I've taken it to the back. So the next thing I want to do is to join the shoulders together. So just the way we used to join shoulder, I'll bring the front over it, over the back, then I'll just bring the facing. I'll bring the facing, this is the facing piece, and I'll just put it over like this. Then I'll sew the shoulder. I'll do the same thing for that shoulder. So I've joined it by the shoulder. This is what it's looking like. So what I'll do, if you look at the thumbnail, there is elastic on the hand. So what I'll do, I'll hem this hand. I'll just fold it. I'll serge this place. I'll weave it, then fold it 1/2 inch like this, so that I can pass my elastic through it. So after passing elastic, I'll pass it for the other one too. Then I'll just come to this side and just sew. I'll just join the two sides. You see it? I'll just join this side, then join that side, then hem it down. Then we are done with this beautiful dress. So guys, this is the final look. This is the welt pocket. You can see it. And this is the elastic band on the hand. So I hope you found value in this tutorial. If you do, please give it a thumbs up, click on the like button, drop a comment, and please share this video. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.